If there was a word that if you had a choice, you'd never want to hear again, what word would that be? Most people would collectively agree that the word would be taxes. Of course, if those people are not the government. It is a word associated with so much strain and burden that there is even a phrase for when someone is at his weakest when performing a task. They say it's taxing. But was it always this way? Has society always accepted taxation as a way of life? Has society always accepted the carrying of that heavy burden? There is one theory that explains how taxation started. Let me spin you a yarn about the concept of a stationary bandit. Now, we all know that pirates and bandits were notorious for stealing booty and causing chaos. But hear me out. What if these swashbuckling scallywags actually made life better for those around them? You see, in ancient civilizations, law and order were in short supply. People had to be in one of these three professions for their livelihoods. They were either hunters or gatherers, or one had to become a member of the biggest trend in the land, that is being a bandit, a gang, a thief. The bandits did not have a stationary place for their residence. They roamed from place to place, roved from village to village, and upon arrival at a certain village, they raided the inhabitants' produce or animals. They also destroyed property and took lives. The villagers would be left devastated, often hopeless. It is not clear from the theory as to who came up with the idea that these bandits could become stationary. Was it one of the villagers, or was it one of the bandits? I suppose it was one of the villagers. Having become tired of losing their crop and animals to the bandits after every few weeks, the villagers had tried arming themselves, but the bandits proved to be too much, annihilating the villagers and squandering the stores. So, for safety, they chose dialogue. So the villagers sent an emissary to the land of the bandits, or wherever they could find them. I doubt if the first messenger ever returned, but the villagers kept on sending them until the bandits gave them an ear. "Oh, Mr. Bandit, what I have for you might seem too good to be true. I too can't believe that we are ready to make such a deal. This deal justifies your banditry actions and criminalizes us, the innocent villagers, if we do not let you plunder our produce. You will become our bandits, and we, your people. You will be stationed in our village. You will protect us from other roving bandits, so that the share of our produce will be yours and yours alone." The villagers' messenger presented their case. Of course, the bandits were surprised. This would be the easiest way they ever made money. And here's the kicker. Because the bandits were stuck in one place, hence the name stationary, they actually had an incentive to make sure that the people they were plundering from didn't starve to death, since those people might leave the area and the bandits would starve too. Sure, they might take their cut or their treasure, but they also invested in things like roads and bridges to make it easier for the villagers to transport their goods, and maybe even set up some basic things like healthcare and education systems. Over time, these bandits even became more like proper rulers, with their own court and everything. Eventually, these bandits evolved to the government that we now call ours, still plundering what the subjects produce, but this time they call it taxes. There is, however, the accepted definitions for taxation: the economic definition, the political definition, and the layman's definition. From an economic point of view, tax is an involuntary levy charged on the residents of a country by its governors. The levies are on incomes earned, on transactions conducted like the transfer of property, and in the exchange of goods and services. The money collected, taxes, is then used to support the government's expenditure, mostly development like provision of public goods and social amenities, also spent on recurrent expenditure like paying government workers, paying for office tea and newspapers, and most agonizingly for misappropriation, like ballooning project budgets so that the officials can eat. For those a little advanced in economy, taxation is also a fiscal policy tool. That will be a discussion for another day. Then, from a political point of view, taxation is a state weapon which can be used to punish enemies. If you are the government of the day, the easiest way to paralyze an opponent is to send the taxman to him. Tax cheating charges and court cases will drag on forever. But once the opponent crosses over to the government side, he is sanitized in no time. Third, taxation to the layman, to the common mamamboga Atieno, the common boda guy Wafula, the common fishmonger Wanjiko. Tax is the reason the prices of basic commodities are high. You can't afford paraffin because half of the cost is made up of taxes. You can't use electricity either because taxes are there too. It is costly to transfer money on mobile apps, and your breadwinner's salary can't last even a month because 30% was left with the taxman.